Alright guys, today I am going to be sharing with you our August what sold in our antique booth. So I definitely feel like August was a really good month in the booth. We sold a lot of stuff. August is when we started putting in a lot of Halloween, like we already started Halloween in August, but I think that really helped a lot because we sold a lot of Halloween stuff and we're still selling it. So I was a little hesitant at first, like how early should we really be putting Halloween in, but once other stores, like retail stores, start putting their stuff in, people are ready to start looking at it. So as always, I'm gonna go through everything that sold for August, and then the price that I give is always just the ticket price, like what I priced the item at. That doesn't include the 10% off that we run all the time, or anything like that. I just figure if anyone who's watching this and has a booth of their own or something, is probably more curious about how I price stuff, or like what we priced something at. So, and my pictures should be getting better and better each time I do this, but there's still a couple that slip through that might be like older things that just don't have the best screenshots. So we're just gonna get straight into it. So first thing we have, and there is like a couple of Christmas things in here, and that's when our mall was doing a like Christmas in July type of thing. So we did have a couple Christmas things in. Those were pulled before we put in the Halloween stuff. So you will see a couple Christmas things, and that's really the only reason why there's Christmas. But you would have saw them in my last what sold video. So we did sell 2 more packs of those Poland glass Christmas ornaments. So I had 3 packs sitting out, 2 in each pack. So these were the last 2 packs that sold, because I sold another pack previously. But they sold for $6 a piece. 2 in a pack. We sold a Westmoreland Vaseline glass basket for $49, and you will see this again because I had doubles of that. I had 2, and that's why you'll see it again. I'm not just saying it twice. We actually had 2 and sold 2 the same month, which is crazy. We also sold an older cast iron Boston Terrier dog. This was like a doorstop, that sold for $59. I sold that metal cat-shaped watering can. You guys might have seen me pick this up out of a free pile at a yard sale, and that sold for $15. Let's see, I also sold another cat. This was in the booth for a while. It was a tin cat. It had wheels on the bottom, and there was a section in the back where you could put like a candle. It was kind of like a candle holder, or you could just sit it as it is as the decoration. That sold for $20. Here's another Christmas related item. This was a Longaberger snowflake basket that sold for $39. Sold another Vaseline glass piece. This one was a glass shoe, that sold for $22. People love the glass that glows. Vaseline or uranium, that is still a really hot type of glass. Here's another piece that glowed. This was a uranium hobnail vase that sold for $49. And here's another one. This one was a Fenton Vaseline hobnail, kind of trumpet shaped vase. That one sold for $55. This was a Ouija potato chip can, so just like an advertising piece, that sold for $10. And here's where some of the Halloween stuff starts coming into play. This was a mini jack-o'-lantern little plastic blow mold kind of bucket that sold for $4. And then we sold like every single blow mold that we had in the booth aside from the real large ghost that we put in. So this one was a cat blow mold that had kind of like skeletons dancing around the bottom. That sold for $55. Then also sold quite a few of these melted popcorn pieces. This one was a scarecrow pumpkin. That one sold for $20. Then we sold a glass like advertising beer ashtray. It was for Bavarian beer. That sold for $6. So one day when we were in, I think it was when we were setting up our Halloween stuff, there was a man that walked by and he asked if we had any kind of beer advertising pieces. And we didn't at the time. But that's one of the things, like, you know, if people stop us to ask for anything, you know, specific, or ask if we have anything specific, I like to keep, me and Eric, we like to keep that in mind. Like, okay, so, you know, someone's interested in beer advertising things. Well, lo and behold, this ashtray came up at an auction. I think Eric paid $1 for it. And we stuck it in there. I don't know if it was the same man that was asking for beer advertising pieces, but it sold very, very quickly. So, like to keep in mind what people are after, kind of thing. You know, when we can actually find it and buy it to put in the booth. Sold a Lefton glass bird-shaped paperweight. That sold for $12. Here's another uranium vase. This one was a Fenton. This one was just insane. This one was such a good sale for us because it was so pricey, but this was absolutely beautiful, hand painted, rather on the large side too, and it came with like a base to it to display it, so it was in kind of like two pieces. That sold for a whopping $315. So that was a really awesome sale. Here's some more Halloween stuff. This next item was just this like ceramic haunted house. It was real skinny and tall looking. That sold for $5. Also sold a wooden jack-o'-lantern shaped box. That's the only way I can describe it. It had a wire kind of thing on the top, so you could have hung it if you wanted to. I think I had picked that up at a yard sale, but that sold for $15. Here's another melted popcorn piece. This one was of a ghost, and that sold for $20. Also have another cat blow mold. This one sold for $37. As well as another blow mold, also with a cat, but this one said trick or treat on it. That one sold for $50. Then we sold a large orange plastic blow mold pumpkin. It was called a Blinky pumpkin. That sold for $55. Then we sold a pack of tarot cards, Del Toro tarot cards. Those sold for $15. Eric sold one of his vultures. These are made by an artist named Roger Sweezy. So someone did buy one of them. There's still two others still in the booth, but this one was on a rock, and I think the other two are on more of like I don't know if it's like a driftwood type of thing. But anyway, that vulture sold for $45. Here's the other Westmoreland Vaseline glass basket. That one also sold for $49. Sold a Kanawha glass diamond point vase for $55. As well as an Empire, another blow mold. This one was by Empire pumpkin, like a little pumpkin man. He sold for $60. I sold a wire, this was just like a wire spider web cake stand, or you could like have set like cupcakes or what have you on it. That sold for $10. I sold another Kanawa vase. This one was an amber colored vase that sold for $46. Next one was just like a mini milk glass hen on a nest, like the little like salt cellar type ones. That sold for $7. I sold a Fenton opalescent vase. This was on the smaller side and it had hands on it, so it was really quite unique though. That one sold for $13. Also sold another wooden piece with the wire hanger, but this one was shaped like a piece of candy corn. That sold for $12. Sold a garden flag. It said trick or treat with a cat on it, and that sold for $10. As well as another blow mold. We got wiped out on the blow mold. This one was by Bayshore, and it was a cat blow mold that sold for $37. Then we sold a Viking glass owl ashtray for $60, as well as a little bone china owl family. So a little set of 3. They sold for $10. Sold a wooden sign that spelled out the word boo, and it had these really cool kind of vintage looking images on it. That sold for $14. As well as these were by Primitives by Kathy. They were brand new. It was a set of Halloween ornaments. They were metal, like tin leaves with little jack-o'-lanterns on the front, and those sold for $10. Also a Fenton green thumbprint glass vase that sold for $49. I know my picture of that was horrible. We also sold another garden flag. This one had dancing skeletons on and said, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That one sold for $10. I also sold a Yankee Candle Boney Bunch skeleton. This was a candle topper, so one that you would put on your jar candles. That sold for $15. I also sold a book. This one was called 100 Ghastly Little Ghost Stories. That sold for $5. We sold one of our sunburst mirrors. This one was the smaller one. We still have like a real large one in the booth, but this one was the smaller one, and it sold for $29. Then here's another melted popcorn piece. This one was of a witch, and she sold for $22. This next item was just kind of like a primitive looking cat face. Made of like a coated canvas, and it was on a long metal stick, so you could really stick it anywhere that you wanted to. That sold for $10. I also have a ghost and a pumpkin in the booth, and I replaced the cat with another cat, so I still have 3 of those in there now. We sold a girly witch candle. This was a recent win at an auction, and that sold for $29. That one was a nice one. It was big too. Let's see. Oh, this was another really nice sale. This was a Westmoreland Vaseline glass child punch set. So it was the punch bowl and all the cups, and that sold for $175. We did just the other day, Eric put in a couple more Vaseline glass pieces because those are like consistently selling for us right now in the booth. We also sold another melted popcorn. This one was of a black cat that sold for $24. Also a Viking glass blue fairy lamp that sold for $69. And the last thing that I have that sold in August was one of our gravel arts. This one was the butterfly, and that sold for $29. So that was a decent amount of stuff that sold in August, which is so awesome. I'm just curious to see how, the rest of the year will go. I'm still not entirely sure exactly when we will pull Halloween stuff and start like switching over to Christmas. I feel like this year Christmas stuff was a little hard to find. I feel like we didn't, like, even Halloween. I mean, last year we weren't in our booth at Halloween, so we had a lot of Halloween to put in. But as well with Christmas and Halloween, I feel like we just haven't stumbled upon a lot of it this year, like, you know, as far as sourcing goes. Um, like, just, you know, I'm not even really seeing a whole lot of it come up at auction. And then sometimes the stuff that does just goes for either too much or something comes up and I want to keep it for myself. So that makes it kind of hard too. But, you know, hopefully we'll have a decent amount of stuff for Christmas this year to put in. I honestly don't really know what all we have. You know, we probably still have stuff in our storage unit that we, you know, can put in as far as like Christmas and stuff goes. So I'm not overly concerned about it right now until like we go to, you know, gather everything together. But also, and I'll be doing this for Halloween because we haven't started like decorating our own, you know, for Halloween yet, but I think we are this week. So the same way with Christmas, when I'm putting out my Halloween this year, I will look through it and see if there's anything that, you know, I could kind of, you know, I'm not feeling this as much anymore. This isn't necessarily what I'm trying to collect or my style anymore. And then I'll just put those things off to the side to, you know, put in the booth. And I'll do the same at Christmas time as well, because I know I do have quite a few pieces of like primitive kind of Halloween pieces that, you know, there's just other stuff I've accumulated that I'd rather decorate with, and I don't foresee myself really reaching for those when I'm pulling them out of the tote kind of thing. So I will be paring down a little bit of both my Halloween and Christmas. So that might help too with finding stuff to, you know, put in the booth. So I thought August was a pretty good month. You guys will have to let me know if you do have a booth, you know, how August sales were for you. This was our first August, so I can't really compare it to, you know, last August kind of thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to touch upon as far as the booth goes, and I really don't think so. Let me know down in the comments. I know there have been some of you who have come to shop at the mall that we're in. I will always have the links, because sometimes I have people ask me, and my links will always be down in the description of the video, the address to the antique mall that we're at, as well as our Facebook page specifically to our booth. So that information is always there underneath every video. So if you're anytime close by or what have you, feel free to check it out. It's a great mall. The owners are absolutely wonderful, as well as everyone that works there. It's just always so pleasant going in, and I just love the place. I always did love the place even before we got a booth. Like, it was a place that always held really great memories for me, because I used to go with my parents as well. My parents just always loved to just look around, and it got me into wanting to look around. And I also just love the smell of the place. I know it's so weird, I'm so weird, but smells are just so important to me and nostalgic for me, and it smells so good, and just I love the smell of like older things. I don't know, it just gives me like cozy feels, especially when there's like older music playing and everything like that. I don't know, maybe it was another life for me that I never lived, but it feels so comforting to me kind of thing. This is so totally off topic, but it's just how I am. I'm always rambling, and most of you guys know this by now. But there is a YouTube page here on YouTube called Nemo's Dreamscapes. And I absolutely love listening to them. It's usually like a video that has a little bit of like ambiance to it, but there are some videos where it's just like oldies music like playing in the background, but it's like a super kind of like soft sounding, like you can hear it, but you can't hear it super well. But it's so, so, so relaxing. They also have some like Halloween related ones like that play like really old Halloween songs, like super old. I'm not talking like, you know, Michael Jackson Thriller or anything like that. I'm talking like, you know, older. And I just love turning that on, and Eric and I will like literally take a nap on the couch while it's playing in the background, and it is just so incredibly relaxing. I just thought I would share that with you if anyone else like likes that type of thing, or you think you'd like that type of thing. I deal a lot with like anxiety and things like that, and it's definitely just one of those things that just kind of helps calm me down. So yeah, I'm probably gonna play some of that later just to sit back and relax. I like to play it too when I'm reading a book as well. It's just so relaxing to me. But anyway, I'm really rambling now, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see you next time.